Yeah, inspiring action, like inspiring change through action. So even, I mean, we can see it in everyday walks of life. It could be somebody who works really hard at their job, and it could just be the mundanest of jobs, but doing that task with a sense of purpose and a sense of fulfillment is so important. But it's so difficult for some people to find that sense of purpose and that sense of fulfillment. What's your advice for people who are struggling with that kind of thing?
Oh, it's a great question. And so I always talk about finding your purpose. And I'll say it this way. When you have a clear sense of purpose, you're not working anymore. You're not dreading getting out of your bed in the morning or opening up your car door in the parking lot and climbing the stairs to get to work. But people understand, well, I don't know what that is, and I don't know what that means. And the question I always ask people is, what are you volunteering to do right now? What are you doing in your spare time? What is it that the last time you did something and time just flew by? Oh my gosh, it doesn't even feel like work. You know what? When I have all these other things to do, I usually do this thing first because it just gives me joy. That's how I became a soccer coach. And the advice given to me was, stop pursuing status, title, and money. Do what you volunteer to do, and success and excellence and the money will come. And I remember dropping out of deciding to go to medical school and said, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I think I'm going to become a soccer coach. Now imagine telling your immigrant parents who've sacrificed everything for you that you want to be a soccer coach. What? You want to kick a ball around? But because I never felt like I was working, I read everything about soccer. I watched every video. I studied everything I read. It didn't matter if it was a movie about Lion King, there would be a line there that I could apply. It didn't matter if I was watching a corporate video on Honda about Kaizen and excellence. I thought how I could apply that to soccer. And so by doing and pursuing something that I loved, my passion, I was able to be resilient because this is my passion. Doesn't mean that excellence happened right away. I was able to weather downturns and rejections and all these things because I loved it. And I didn't care about what material wealth or status. And then all of a sudden, I became really good. And in 10 years, I became the highest paid athletic director, the highest paid soccer coach in the country, all because of my pursuit of my purpose.
How do you, so I mean, for me, that's an amazing explanation for it. But there are those people who feel so trapped in their work, in their day-to-day job, in their lifestyle. Like you say, the reaching for status as well. Like how do we drop that? How do we get rid of that?
It's hard because, there's you, and let's be quite clear. You got families, you got mortgages, you got car payments. It's hard. Number one is, in order to pursue your purpose, you've got to recognize it takes courage, and you have to be willing to sacrifice. And so just like anytime you learn a new skill or you learn a new tactic, your lifestyle, your quality of life, your material things will probably go down. You might have to, just like I had a person who gave up his corporate job and decided to become a coach. And he was making $400,000 a year when he sold his house, he sold his car, and he became my assistant coach for $6,000. And for 5 years, he became an assistant coach because he wanted to learn. Fast forward 10 years later, he's coaching in the MLS, making more money than he did as a corporate person. So I will tell you, yes, I don't want to mislead any folks that are out there. It's scary. Your quality of life in terms of material possessions will probably go down, but your quality of life in terms of health, well-being, stress, hope, optimism, happiness will go way beyond anything you imagined. And I tell you this, the people who pursue hope, optimism, and purpose live way longer lives, have way less stress, recover from injury and surgery quicker than anybody else. So by the time you look at that big house, that mortgage, that fancy car, you got one life to live, and it's a choice you got to make.
I absolutely love that. So now I wanted to talk about sort of the road. So let's say when you started being a coach, there was a load of things that you put in place to become successful at that. One of the things I really like that you spoke about like what you do with individuals and teams is deflecting distractions, which is so difficult in the sort of world we live in right now. We can get distracted so easy. Like, what's your advice? Have you got any sort of techniques or programs that you use to sort of deflect those distractions to stay focused?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing is to before you even get to distractions, you have to be clear of your purpose and your goal, right? Clear of your purpose and your goal. And so, what is your goal? Win the national championship. Or what is your goal? Earn this managerial job. What is your goal, right? Be married by the age of 25. Whatever your goal is. And then it's important to recognize, okay, if this is the goal, what are the steps that I really need to do to accomplish that goal? And so sometimes, let's say the goal is, I'm making it up, but I want to lose 25 pounds. That's I want to feel good about myself. My goal is to lose 25 pounds. Well, what do I got to do? I'm not going to eat past 7. I'm going to drink 4 glasses of water a day. I'm going to exercise 20 minutes every day, whatever those things are. And all of a sudden now, you've got this clear roadmap. The thing is, we sometimes put this clear roadmap only in our head. I want to write it down. When I'm losing weight, on the front of my fridge is my goal. And then it's my weigh-in number and my graph every day. Because you can't have these goals down hidden away. They got to be front and center by your mirror, by your computer screen, by your refrigerator, by your work desk, wherever it is. So it's always at the front of your mind. Because if it's not in the front of your mind, something else will creep in there. Right? Oh my gosh, my goal is to get this manager job. I got to finish this project. Hey, let's go out to the bar, guys, and party tonight. And I turn and I look at my computer. It's like manager by age 25. Nope. I need to constantly remind myself and have it front and center what I'm about and what's going on. So that's one technique. Write it down and put it someplace where you're seeing it. Number 2 technique, which is really equally as important, is who are you surrounding yourself with? Equally committed people who have that same drive and discipline and purpose. And that's hard because sometimes but these are my friends, these are things I want. Who are the high achievers, right? Who are the people that are equally committed, who are good for you and good to you? Because we all will have this time where we just want to go this way. And they're like, hey, come on, let's do this. And everybody needs a wingman or a wingwoman, right? Just your motivator, your hype woman, your hype man. Come on, you can do this. So that's another important piece. Surround yourself with people who will build you up, right? And that's hard because it's like, oh gosh. Sometimes I say it's get away from the people who will tear you down. But that motivation piece, you write it down. Okay, I write it down, but I'm still not good. Okay, here's my people. Number 3, what are the distractions? Don't spend and wait for them to surprise you. When you set your goal and you set your processes, write down the things that that are your slippery slopes. No different than the alcoholic says, you know what, I'm going to be dry. I'm going to be, I'm not drinking any beer anymore. Well, what's a distraction? I can't go into Nelly's because even though they got the best chicken wings, they also got that beer I love. So you know what? I'm not going into Nelly's for that restaurant anymore. You know what? I'm not hanging out with Sally because Sally always drinks wine with her dinner, and that's just too slippery for me. What are your distractions so that you can see when they're coming? And what I call become the red flags. If I'm losing weight and I know that I'm going to weigh in every morning, okay, that's not bad. If I miss 1, that's okay. But if I miss 2, that's my red flag. So it's like distractions, red flags. What are your red flags that say you're about to go off course and you need help?